Hi guys, and welcome back to Breaking Game 8. In today's YouTube video, technically we're doing a Chapter 4 Season 1 racing, even though it's kind of not that. It's just comparing all the chapters and seasons in Fortnite. Now in this video, as I mentioned in the intro, we'll be comparing previous chapters, the loot pool, and previous seasons of Fortnite. Now, interesting thing is, obviously Chapter 4 has been out for like 2 days now, hasn't it? Yeah. And we can't compare it completely. I can't give a tier list, but what I can do is list my initial reactions. And getting straight to the point, overall, absolutely great job, Epic. As always, as most of your chapter updates, you have always nailed it on the head. But we're going to look a bit further into Chapter 4. So let's start right way back. Chapter 1, Season 1, September 2017. Fortnite Battle Royale releases after just being a Save the World PvP game. Still play Save the World today, we've made videos on it, and I am prepared to do more in the very near future, very soon, next couple of videos possibly. And, you know, that was cool. Chapter 1, Season 2, we had the Battle Pass, you know, the first time, 75 levels, blah blah. This is where things get interesting. In Chapter 1, Season 3, halfway through the season, we looked up, there's a meteor in the sky. That crashed down, introduced us to the Visitor. We're not going to go through the full storyline, but we're just going to get the basic points. Chapter 1, Season 4. The meteor crashes into Dusty Divot, and there was someone inside the meteor. That guy was now known as the Visitor, and he is a member of the Seven. Now, as far as I'm aware, this doesn't have that very good season, but Chapter 3... What? Season... I'll do that. Interesting thing is that in Chapter 1, Season 5, we didn't really hear much more of them. It's so satisfying. Didn't really hear much of them. However... Wow, we did get introduced to Rocket in Chapter 1, Season 4, which left the sky. That then created Kevin the Cube halfway through Chapter 1, Season 5. Chapter 1, Season 6 comes around, Kevin the Cube is destroyed and deteriorating, blah, blah. Chapter 1, Season 7, snow, and that. We're not going to get into this, we're just going to skip the next few. Chapter 1, Season 10, Season 8. This is where things get interesting. We are introduced to the scientist, the second member of the Seven. They know that the map is deteriorating at a rapid pace, and they need to do something. So they decided to travel back in time and freeze the map just before the meteor hit. So we had the return of Dusty Depot rather than Dusty Divot and all that stuff. But in order for us to save reality, we had to destroy the Chapter 1 map by freezing it in time and saving the 0 point whilst taking out our own reality. We had a black hole for 2 days. Then we was introduced to Chapter 2, Season 1. And this is where, ladies and gentlemen, Fortnite went horribly wrong. Chapter 2 Season 1 was the longest season ever in Fortnite history. Don't get me wrong, that's not their fault. That was due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, we had 2 updates the whole time, and that was like, Christmas, well no, we probably had a few more. Christmas, Halloween, and the Harpoon Gun. So like 3. We're going to go now to Chapter 2 Season 5. Chapter 2 Season 4. We have the Marvel season. Galactus, who was up in the sky, who was prepared to take him on. We then, later on, went against Galactus on the line then. He exposed the 0 point, which then leads to Jonesy having to jump on the 0 point. Chapter 2 Season 5. Not really much went on. 0 point destabilising, and the map almost in pieces. Chapter 2 Season 6. Scientists appeared to save reality, which as we end up finding out... Oh, I actually forgot about the Paradigm season actually was also in Season 10. But yeah, as we know, Foundation was the block. Did I say Scientist? I meant to say the Foundation. The Foundation was the block, which was later revealed in the end of Chapter 2 Season 8. Chapter 2 Season 8. The Cube Queen has arrived after the event in Chapter 2 Season 7, where the aliens came and we went up against the aliens, and they then caused a bunch of cubes to appear on the map, including, wow, the Cube Queen and the legend, the Gold Cube, along with also Blevin, the Blue Cube. Later on, we started to understand that the Chapter 2 map was coming to its final days, and the Cube Queen was taking over. The end event. The Chapter 2 Season 8 end event led to, as you guessed it, this is where things get interesting. Map flipped over, we were revealed Chapter 3 Season 1. Chapter 3 Season 1, and oh my goodness, what a great season. What a step up. And this is what I'm going to mention in a minute when we actually start rating this. Chapter 3 Season 1, possibly, well, no, top 4 season of all time. This gun is so satisfying to use with the new scope on it. Previously didn't have the scope. We then get introduced to Chapter 3 Season 2, where a few more exciting members, the sisters, were revealed. One of which is now dead, and I only recently discovered this. Chapter 3 Season 3, not really much. We got introduced to the Herald, which was in the background. Chapter 3 Season 4, and the Fracture Live event, which by the way was the worst event in Fortnite history, led to the end of the Fortnite Chapter 3 Island. Now we're here. Chapter 4 Season 1. So instantly at a start, Chapter 4 is already in a worse position than Chapter 2 or than Chapter 3. And let me explain this in further detail. Chapter 2 was obviously, we had the same map for 10 seasons in Chapter 1. Going into Chapter 2 was the most exciting thing ever. Getting our first complete new map was incredibly exciting. Don't get me wrong, Chapter 2 sucked, but it was a good start, and then the season just got worse. But anyway, and Chapter 3 had a great start, and I don't know if that's because of the content, which don't get me wrong, the content was there. We both got the comment shop for that. Did think that. The content was there, and it was great. We got to use some things such as the what was it? Oh yeah, Spider-Man mythics, all those really cool items. However, Chapter 2 sucked. As in, Chapter 2 was the downfall of Fortnite ultimately. And going into Chapter 3, that gave everyone a nice fresh restart. Everyone enjoyed it. Chapter 3. So let's just start there. Chapter 3 was a great chapter in my opinion. I think Chapter 1 and Chapter 3 are always going to be the memorable ones. But here's what I mean by Chapter 4 had a least favourable start. Chapter 3 was great. Unlike Chapter 2, we weren't really requiring... you just hear that? Okay. We weren't requiring a new season. A new chapter, sorry. In Chapter 3 Season 4. However, in Chapter 2 Season 8, we really need a new chapter. Because Chapter 2 was dying, and honestly the game was going to start dying. I actually feel like Chapter 3 actually saved Fortnite completely. But to be honest with you, in Chapter 3 Season 4, Fortnite really wasn't in that position. And I feel like that's instantly a good thing at the same time, but doesn't give us as much hype. With that being said, I feel like I could have done a few things different with Chapter 4. We're not doing this, we're not doing this. I feel like they could have perhaps mixed up the loot a little more, brought back some Chapter 1 POIs maybe, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, could have perhaps brought in some older weapons. And apart from that, I think it pretty much nailed it with Chapter 2 as well. And here's the thing, right, I never thought I'd be saying this, the Chapter 1 graphics, by far, were the best graphics. Chapter 2 graphics were atrocious. Chapter 3 graphics were pretty good, but Chapter 1 took the lead by far. Chapter 4 comes around, and I don't believe I'm about to say this, but Chapter 4's had the best graphics. Chapter 4's had the best graphics ever, with new animations, and loads of just cool fire and everything like that. So as I was saying, Chapter 4 graphics were great. Another thing I love is the return of hot drops from Chapter 1 Season 9. I feel like this really spreads out all the players. And another thing as well is the fact that this map is smaller as well. It brings back, like, I don't know, this is the smallest map I think you've ever seen, or at least smaller than Chapter 3. And it makes more fights more possible and all that stuff. And the motorbikes, you know, Chapter 4, despite not being in as good a position as previous chapters, primarily 2 and 3, it's just been great. And obviously the return of the assault rifle, Scar, but yeah, don't really use that term. I just think it's exciting. One thing I'm not happy about, and this is the only item that I'm really dreadful whenever I hear it, is the rocket launcher, which I have in my inventory. Obviously the rocket launcher was unbolted after being bolted for quite a few seasons now, actually, and I've really enjoyed it. Another thing I love is the return of the bows. I actually can't believe I said that. In Chapter 2, Season 6, they were horrible. However, I think Epic have done a good job now. I think Chapter 4 is a good position to be in right now. With that being said, like I said, in Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 were in completely better situations for Chapter 4, because in reality, Chapter 3 wasn't really on downfall, and people weren't really... With Chapter 2, it was our first new map, if that makes sense, so, yeah. But still, Epic have done just a great job. I mean, there's even a part of me that feels like Chapter 3 wasn't even what it was meant to be. There's part of me that thinks Chapter 3, it was meant to be Chapter 4 all along, but they just, I don't know, something happened and they quickly released Chapter 3 for a year, and then they'll bring out Chapter 4, the big reveal, and there's so much more content to come. Another thing I love, okay, so this is what I was talking about with the rocket launcher, are the perk systems. The perk systems are just, honestly, or augments, whatever you might want to call them, great idea. I love the fact that even with combat shotgun and attack AR, they're the only way you can get them. Most of the weapons this season are pretty good. There are a couple which I aren't really great with or happy to play with, or should be in the game. Second. One of those is the Excalibur rifle. One is the mini. Okay. One is the machine SMG, which used to be called machine pistol, and one is the rocket launcher. Apart from that, the loot pool is actually pretty vibey right now. Now, I have heard some reports of new med kits and new big shields being made. I'm excited because these have been in the game since day one, and I believe that will be their replacement. I've also read new shotguns all the way going from great all the way to exotic. Oh, I keep doing that. Which again, I'm just, you know, this is going to be great. I think Chapter 4, eventually... Oh, yeah. I feel like Chapter 4 is going to be the best chapter. However, Chapter 3 Season 1, in my opinion, just because of how bad Chapter 2 was still better than Chapter 4 Season 1. But let me guess, right? I like the map. I like the Chapter 4 map more than the Chapter 3 map. But, like I said, Chapter 2 was so bad. Going into Chapter 3, it was just the best time ever. Not only that, Chapter 3 Season 1 was great. So, if I had to break the chapters, I'd go Chapter 1, Chapter 4, Chapter 3, and Chapter 2. With that being said, if I was to rate my top 5 favourite seasons, we would go with Season X, I know, sorry guys. Chapter 1 Season 3, Chapter 2 Season 4, Chapter 3 Season 1, and then probably Chapter 1 Season 8. And then, in my 6th place, would be Chapter 4 Season 1. So like I said, Chapter 4 map, great. Season, great. And I'm really excited to see what Epic has cooked up for the rest of Chapter 4. Alright guys, that's the end of this Broken Gamer 8 YouTube video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and see you guys in the next video very soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.